Alrighty then, back once again for another reaction. This time it's Demon Slayer Season 1, Episode 9. It's been a long while since I watched Demon Slayer. Like I said in my Bofuri reaction, around the time I last watched some anime, it was around the time that I started to get worn out from my weekly schedule I was trying to force myself to do. And like with everything that I try to force myself to do, that fell off. Like, my channel works best when I just do what I can, when I can, and upload it, and do things like that. So that's really the way to go forward, and unfortunately, it meant that it's taken me a while to get back in the anime mood, because while I've been on and off in general, mood-wise, time-wise, and motivation-wise, Once Upon a Time was at the forefront of my concentration because there's a lot to get through with that. So whenever there's a priority to be had, I want to prioritize Once Upon a Time. Not only because I think it's a phenomenal live action show, but also because there's several seasons to get through, unlike a short anime like Demon Slayer or Bofuri. So, you know, it is what it is. But at the same time, this is a beloved anime of a very close friend of mine, and she's enjoying watching me go through this, and so I feel like I also owe it to her as well to keep up with this that I also enjoy. For ages, I never really got into Demon Slayer. I didn't bother to check it out. It wasn't a case of judging a book by its cover. I just didn't feel bothered to check it out. Like, that's just how my brain works. I have only seen like 10% of the MCU, like the Marvel movies. I haven't seen any Star Wars sequels past The Force Awakens. I just don't have a big drive to go see something most of the time. And that includes with TV shows. The only reason I gave Owl House, that Disney cartoon, a chance was because I saw the prom dance go viral. And that, from watching a video with that in it, convinced me to go and check it out. Believe it or not, I wouldn't have got into MLP if it wasn't for Anthology. The very first Ponies, the Anthology, using all of the clips in an AMV Hell / Shenanigans style format, it put all these great clips in front of me, and I was like, hang on, this pony cartoon actually looks pretty good. I'm gonna binge the first season. And that's just how it happened. So sometimes something has to catch my attention first before I get into a series, and it happened in this case. I got a special request to do Demon Slayer, and so it's a bit to my chagrin that I have dragged my heels so much with it. I feel like I should already be done with Demon Slayer, if anything. But that was because I was restricting myself to one episode a week when I tried to do my schedule, and that would have put me finishing Demon Slayer into, like, January anyway. So so it's just as well that I'm back to freestyling it now, so hopefully more of everything can come out per month. But obviously December is a little bit of an awkward time with Christmas prep, and we're still in uncertainty. And it's a very difficult time of year anyway, because it's the first one without my father around, so December's weird. I think productivity is going to spike during January, if anything, when I've got absolutely nothing on my plate. It's the optimism of a fresh new year, and I'm gonna be jumping headfirst into losing some weight and getting fit. And hopefully 2021 is going to be one of the best years of all of our lives to make up for what a shit show 2020 has been. But with that all out of the way, Demon Slayer. Last we left off, Tanjiro and company had come under attack by those two demons that we'd met earlier, and they had been given some special blood by Muzan. Gonna give them some sort of power boost so they can take on Tanjiro. And we saw in the alleyway how ruthless Muzan is, with how he ruthlessly slaughtered that woman by overloading her with demon blood. Yeah, pretty intense stuff. really sold his villainous nature very well. It's one of those very nice, it's like a big moment, but it's done so subtly that it adds a lot of character to him. I really liked how it came off. He was very cool as murdering someone in an alleyway can be. But yeah, I'm interested to see how Tanjiro and Nezuko and I think Tamayo and Yushiro. I've got two names written down in my notepad, Tamayo and Yushiro, but I can't remember if that's the enemy pair or the ally pair of demons. I will find out as we watch, I'm sure, and then I'll be able to relabel them appropriately. Obviously, I expected to see the next episode a lot quicker after I saw the last one and only bothered writing simply their names down, but now that a couple of months have passed, I've completely blanked on who is who, so I'm gonna need the little bracket that says this is this character, this is this character, remember. But yeah, I don't have anything else to say. I think this is mainly gonna jump straight into an action set piece, so I'm excited because this anime has great animation and great fight pacing and all of that good stuff. So yeah, welcome back, Demon Slayer. It's time to get reacting. Well then, that certainly delivered, didn't it? A lot of cool things I got to see here. The six-armed Machamp-like form, obviously Machamp has four, but you know what I mean. Like, very cool design, I have to say. Like I said, her laugh does make me think of that one annoying One Piece villain, but not nearly as annoying here, but I think my favourite thing about her has nothing to do with her character in the story. It's more to do with her design. I think she's designed very well. The dude's alright as well, but he's very like reserved and like just general, I like to keep my robes clean kind of thing. Nothing really stands out about him except the fact that he doesn't have actual eyes. He has them in his hands, which, as Tanjiro is valid for pointing out, is pretty creepy. But this entire episode was pretty much the fight, and I like when an anime does this and they don't keep cutting away to different scenes and then cutting back to the fight. This was pretty much all focused in this one location throughout the episode, and I think that lended a lot of benefit to the tension of the fight in how things progressed. And I really enjoyed seeing Tanjiro use more of his battle smarts and giving helpful directions to Nezuko, who had beautiful internal visions while protecting them because they reminded her of her family. That was so cool. But seeing things like Tanjiro twisting himself around to counteract his arm about to be snapped, and incorporating his like flowing dance to bring the arrows back with him as he dodged them, and then start his tornado move up and it swirled the arrows into it. I love seeing strategic fighting. Tanjiro's been really good at that. He knows how to combine his training with the situation that he's in, and he's been doing a great job. I'm so proud of him. I think the hardest part about this episode was seeing Nezuko get half of her leg chopped off. Damn it. Just because Nezuko is a demon and can heal from wounds eventually with enough sleep, you don't have to turn her into some sort of torture doll anime. Like, please. Please, Demon Slayers, don't. Is that Nezuko's role from this point forward? She's going to be the gore doll that you have, you know, that one character that never dies, so you can injure them as much as you want. Like, you know, she's cute. It's always going to be a shock every time she gets injured. Is that going to be her running thing? Please don't say it's going to be a running thing. Because that's still hard to watch, because you know that the poor thing never asked for this. Like, she never asked to be the way that she is, and we're holding on to the hope that we can save her and turn her back to normal. And seeing her get brutalized is no fun. Yeah, very, very interesting combat in this episode. I'm glad that I called that Yushiro wasn't dead, because that seemed a bit too abrupt. Like, and with them being demons, I assume some form of regeneration will come into play. Like, so that's why I was literally joking about it instead of acting shocked. Like, not only because I'm not that attached to his character in the first place, although he's funny, but also because, you know, I kind of thought he was going to pop back up later in the fight. But a very cool technique to go invisible and start using those palm thrusts, like which I said remind me of Neji. Yeah, quite a lot of good stuff here. Obviously, there's not much variety of things I can talk about because, as I said, we were in one location dealing with this one combat situation, and it's still not over. We've still got this Machamp lady to deal with. And yeah, it's looking good so far in terms of Tanjiro's chances of winning. Like, it's looking pretty decisive when he's able to get these blows in. It's just a matter of keeping her down for good, the one that can regenerate super fast. I have a feeling that he's going to have to decapitate her and somehow keep her head separate from her body, like in a jar or something, Futurama style. Or they're just going to have to kill her and dice her up, like, so she can't regenerate, and maybe they'll get the blood from the guy. But I don't know how this is going to end. For all I know, they could get away. They could realise, hang on, this kid's the real deal. We might die here. Let's skedaddle. Like, there's always that possibility, but we'll have to see. This was a pretty good episode to come back to after a while away because it allowed me to settle back into the series. We didn't do anything major to advance the overall plot. We didn't travel to a new place that I have to suddenly get used to. We didn't have to do anything special. We were in the fight that was established last time, and we had a pretty good bout, and the bout is set to continue. So it sort of feels like I am back within the zone of watching what's going on. Does that make sense? You know, we're right here in the fight is happening, the fight is good, and the fight is still continuing. Good stuff. As far as action anime go, I think Demon Slayer really did establish an edge for itself with all of these cool little effects and flares that it puts over the top, with the flat colours of the arrow and the always gorgeous water imagery that accompanies Tanjiro's attacks. It's a very pretty anime, and which really contrasts really well with how bloody it is. And I think it's this sort of cool effect that's contributed massively to its popularity and the explosion in fan base when the anime came out. Like, they have done such a phenomenal adaptation. I mean, I haven't read the manga, but I can just pretty much tell that they've done a really good job. Like, they tried their best with this, and it shows. So yeah, loving it, glad to be back, and I'll see you guys next time.